all tied up, and this first set is dead even.
Unbelievable combination.
Wow.
Beautifully done.
What a great spot. Hello and welcome to the 2025-26 APTA Tour. We're live from the Montclair Golf Club in West Orange, New Jersey, bringing you the 2025 Montclair Open, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsor, Corient. Tournament support has also been provided by the following local sponsors: Back to Nature Home and Garden, Freddie Miranda and Ann McCarthy of Prominent Properties, Sotheby's International Realty, Spyro Harrison and Nelson, the New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League, well represented here today. President Jenna McClintock is in the house along with many others. New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis Association, Milburn Total Wellness, Beacon Wealth Partners, New Jersey Flex League, Center Court Padel Club, Designer Appliances, North Jersey Rackets, and Master Athletics. I'm Patty Hogan along with Billy Horn, bringing you men's semifinal action between Alvi Regalado and Jose Salazar up against Russell Benkaim and Gabe Friedrich. Welcome, Billy.
Thanks, Patty. This should be a great match ahead of us. In the bottom of our screen, we have Friedrich.
You know what? Let's just go talk about one thing. Let's talk
Sure.
about the draw, how both these teams got to the finals first, Billy.
That's great. We're looking at Salazar Regalado in the semifinals, taking down the team of Muyo and Leon. And then Benkaim and Friedrich.
In an amazing match. 7-6 first set tiebreaker, Billy.
Very good first set. And then same thing, Benkaim and Friedrich had a very good 4 and 5 battle coming out victorious against Lalic and Stojic.
Yeah, Stojic. And one of the things, Billy's new to the booth this year. Billy, you get to learn how to pronounce a lot of people from other countries. And so
we're going to get there.
Learning to say their names is a big part of this. And I get help on that. I'll help you as we work our way through the season. And welcome to the booth. You're doing a great job today. Your first event out of Montclair. And what a phenomenal draw. Montclair Open is always a great kickoff to the season now. Mika Ardoya, our tournament director, he's playing with Graham McNerney. They're in the other men's semifinal. And thanks to ProFlight and SBL, we've got all the courts, quarters, streamed, both men's and women's, all the semis. Ardoya McNerney they're playing right now as well on another channel. They're playing against Dobik and Pardo, who had a phenomenal win in about a 4-hour match over Broderick Christian a little earlier this afternoon. So, I mean, these men's semis matchups, it's the highlight reel about to happen here. And, you know, Benkaim, Friedrich, these guys know each other a little bit. They met a couple of years ago. They taught a paddle camp together. Gabe was filling me in a little bit on their history. And he said they, kind of hit it off on the court. And I think that Gabe totally appreciates Russell's talents and his court coverage, his shot making. I mean, he is so fun to watch play. These guys did play
twice last year, I think.
Yeah, twice last year.
They were finalists at Ridgewood. They actually lost to Salazar and Grigorovich. And they were also quarterfinalists on Long Island, losing to Dabic and Pardo, who are also here in our semifinals.
Yeah, so, I mean, Benkaim played a lot with Sven Bers. He is the real deal. He won the 2025 Husband-Wife National Championships up at the Indian Trail Club with his wife, Izzy. I got to mention that because, you know, Izzy's mom is standing right behind me. She happens to run all the tournaments. That would be the one and only Karen Najedlik. So,
who's done a phenomenal job today.
Yeah, and speaking of phenomenal jobs, we didn't mention earlier Cindy Hayward and Jackie Cameron, who are the tournament, you know, they kind of run the events for the Northeast. We'll talk about them a little bit as we get into this match. APTA now, with so many tournaments, you need so many layers of helpers along the way. And, you know, Cindy's doing a great job, and Jackie's always done a phenomenal job here in the Northeast and around the country. Just kind of keeping the matches on schedule, you know, that they team up with here, in this case, Patty Topping, who's really running the match-to-match, all the decision-making. But it comes down to, like, Cindy here is doing it this week and doing a great job.
Yeah, these are people who get here a couple hours ahead of all the players and stay a couple hours after to make sure everything's going to run smoothly for them day in, day out. And they had 8 tournaments to handle this weekend here. Which
All right.
They did an amazing job.
So tell us about Regalado and Salazar. Let's say you're just tuning in, Paddle, for the first time. Tell us
Sure.
about this team from Spain.
So we got Regalado and Salazar. They came on the scene a couple years ago, and they finished the season #1 in the country. They played 9 tournaments together last year, never finishing short of a semifinals. So they are always in the semis and the finals. We have
Why don't you tell us who's on the court and
Sure.
who's where?
So Regalado and Salazar are at the top of our screen. They're wearing exact matching uniforms, straight down to the rackets. So looking out, I believe it is Salazar who's serving, who's starting the match, and Alvi who's at net. I'll have to get confirmation on that one. And then in the bottom of our screen with the backwards hat is Russell Benkaim, and his partner Gabriel Friedrich has the white hat that's facing forward and has the long sleeve white on his right arm, if you're looking to distinguish, because both of these teams are in close to matching outfits.
Yeah, you have the country's #1 team, and you know, with kind of a pickup team, but not really, because, like we said, Russell and Gabe are real familiar with each other, have a lot of respect, and you can see they have a great way that they handle themselves together as a team. So when you watch them, I watched them a little earlier today, and it looks like they've been playing with it for a couple of years. No mystery.
Yeah, even though they've played together tournament-wise only twice, it looks like they have great chemistry on the court. Know who's taking what ball. You have Benkaim, who traditionally has been very exciting player, lots of spins on his overheads, a lot of energy at the baseline, and Gabriel Friedrich, who can also bring a lot of offense, but it can be very, very steady. That's a good example of how much energy Russell can bring on the court.
Yeah, Russell is a student of the game. He's a really young player. He's not an up-and-comer. He's already here. He's phenomenal. He's considered, you know, one of our top players in the sport. And, you know, right there, he just watched them line up that overhead. And he loves that little sprint over to the side screen. You'll see that a lot. Kind of surprised that they gave him the shot. But I think Alvi and Jose know exactly what they're doing, and they give shots that they know the opponent will pull the trigger on, and they are already in a position to defend it. It's kind of like they reel them in, a little hook, line, and sinker. So we'll see how they, you know, play to that. And Russell, every shot in the game, and he's going to get a lot of looks in this match out here. I think they'll keep it away from that Friedrich forehand a little bit. I mean, that's truly a weapon.
A lot of pace, a lot of spin on that forehand. But Albi and Jose, very good at recognizing what's coming. I mean, they have made living this past 2 years of being steady and making the right decision on the court. Again, also students of the game. They've really only been in this game for 2 or 3 years at the top of it in the NRT tournaments.
Yeah, 3 years ago, and then they made the finals in Boston 2 years ago, losing in one of the most amazing matches that I've ever seen to Nunes and Powers. But they had a remarkable win at the Country Club right over Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell. Huge win for, you know, Regalado and Salazar in that semi. Last year they went out in the semis of nationals. A little disappointing for them, but you know, they finished the year #1. They are truly a dominant team out here. Super nice guys, such talent out there, really fun, and I think they have a little change of sides this year, where I think.
Yeah, wanting to see that Salazar forehand a little more maybe in the middle of the court?
Possibly. I mean, Salazar is just, he's freaking nature, so good. I just am in awe when I watch the ground strokes that he just pummels the ball. And what I would think would be enough depth for the other team, it doesn't phase him. You know, he just can pull the trigger from anywhere, forehand or backhand. And the thing that's amazing about Jose and Alvi is their percentages when they drive the ball, it's kind of like they make 95% of their drives. It is phenomenal to watch them. And they are freaking nature, talented, amazing hands, court movement, footwork. There's not one weakness in the game.
What would you say the contributing factor to making those 95%? Is it shot selection? Is it that positioning on the court? A little bit of both?
I think some people come out of the womb able to drive with a lot of confidence and with a lot of God-given ability, and truly these guys, the amount of talent that each of them has, as much as anybody on the tour, and the two of them combined, they're like brothers, they're great friends. They feed off each other. You know, they work their asses off for each other out here.
So you see Gabriel Friedrich serving at the top of the screen there, and he's to the deuce court, is going with a sidearm roller serve, underhand serve, if we want to call it that.
Right. A couple years ago, you saw the sidearm come into the game, and it's interesting. Have we seen it today, before this match?
Not up to this match. At least me personally, Patty.
No, I didn't. I haven't seen one, which is an amazing thing. And given that, the reason why people went to it, sometimes the ball sits up too high with a regular serve, but here we have an 85-degree day in Jersey, and you're not seeing. I was thinking we'd see more of the sidearm.
I did too. With the positioning of the sun, I thought maybe to one side of the court you'd see some lower tosses and some sidearm serves, but it looks like he was doing it to both sides. Sometimes people are doing it to one side and not the other. We just saw it back to back.
Yeah, it's a more natural swing from one side for a righty than the other. What do you find, Billy, when people hit that serve? Where do you find that it's easier for a righty?
I think the righties serve the roller to the deuce court a little bit more than to the ad. If they can find that angle on the higher contact point serve, little topspin serve from a regular tennis position, that's what you would do to the ad court. But it is a good serve. It limits the power you can put on the ball. It stays lower, and in theory gets you a higher volley. I love 40.
This is one of those matches that you feel like Benkaim, Friedrich, they have to play an awesome match because they're not going to get anything. Regalado and Salazar they're not very generous on the court. They're a little thrifty, I would say. They give up very few gifts to their opponents.
Yeah, very hard to hurt. Great lob by Salazar, setting up his partner, Alvi Regalado, with that drive from the deuce.
Yeah, first break of the match there, early on in this first set. Regalado, Salazar up 2, and how good are they as front runners?
I'd love to see the stats on how often they lose a set if they're front runners. Probably.
If they won the first set, they're 99% that they're going to win the match. I would guess. I have no idea. We get to make up stuff. Alvy's got a new job. He's over at Short Hills Club, taking over for Chris Humphreys, and has done a wonderful job. Great addition to the Short Hills Club. He loves it, and super warm, welcoming membership, and they've welcomed Alvy into the fold, and he's super happy there. Jose is up in Greenwich, Connecticut. He's at the Stanwich Club. He's been there for a couple years. Jose won the Mixed Nationals in 2025, so he did win a national title last year with Georgie Alexandre. They won the finals up there at the event hosted by Indian Trail Club in Franklin Lakes.
And did his partner win the Mixed Nationals a couple years ago?
Alvy and B. Lopez
yeah.
are, they won it a year or two prior. Alvy and B didn't, they traveled last year, so they missed the event, which was nice of Alvy to give Jose a shot to win the title.
So Alvy Regalado is serving at the bottom of the screen. So it was Jose Salazar that started our match.
Yeah, you were spot on.
Could we ask them to wear maybe a different color hat? Or
no chance.
No?
No chance. Mirror images of each other out here. Well, it'll be interesting to see. And I saw it on that point before, and I'll mention it. It's just, the thing with Alvi and Jose, they're so good off their forehands, their backhands. They're equal opportunity. A volley, a ground stroke. They're not fazed by any ball that comes their way. I'll be curious about, Friedrich and Benkaim can spot some lobs against them and just put them in a situation where they have to make some decisions. Because sometimes with Regalado Salazar, you don't see him shift as much as a lot of teams do from side to side. So then whoever can reach the shot will take the shot. And they're so good that they anticipate, they back up, they can hit an effective overhead to keep the team pinned back behind the baseline. So, there's not any right or wrong way to play, but club level players have to play a little bit more of a disciplined approach, I would say, to have the ability to cover the net, where these guys kind of do it their way. And so I'll be curious to see. And one of the lobs there, I thought for sure Jose would take the ball, and Alvi called him off. So Alvi was the player to the left and called him off. So we'll see if that happens more.
They're also exceptionally good at the forehand volley, Patty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if a team does it better. Both of them together both have great forehand volleys.
Right, and people form a wall of backhands typically. They form a wall of forehands, and, it's hard to say what's better and what works at the highest level. I think sometimes when, you see a Mark Powers drive coming your way or Guy Nunes drive coming your way, and, you're not on top of the net committed to a backhand volley, that's where it's a little tough. And they tend to play off the net a little bit, which actually gives the opponents a little bit of room in front of them. And that's why I'll be curious to see as we get later in the draw if they make any adjustments with their positioning or shot selection on their overheads. And I think what happens is, let's say you serve and volley, Billy, and you're serving from the ad court. Alvy's so good that he can come in wide, play a low forehand, but he can hit it with underspin. He can keep the ball bouncing low. He can keep the ball deep, and he can close the gap to cover the middle of the court on the next shot of his opponents. Very few people on the planet can do that.
It should be noted that in the men's tour this year, we are playing a one-point deuce format, with the servers choosing who they're serving to.
So no ad scoring.
No ad scoring. Server's choice at deuce who they serve to.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it's server's choice. I think that's a great twist.
I think it's the right twist, right? Because typically the receiver has a slight advantage. It's one serve, right? So you can be teed up for that return sometimes. So the server gets to choose, unlike tennis.
Yep, and right here, Russell and Gabe are gonna have to. They're gonna have to knuckle down here.
Here comes that deuce.
Yeah, really good serve from Benkaim right there. Really jammed Alvi over in that ad court. And he went right back to the well.
Yep. That time, Alvi wisely lobbed that one.
See, sir, there's the Salazar.
Oh, sorry, Salazar wisely lobbed it because he's playing the ad now this year.
So, right now, hitting the overhead.
That's Jose Salazar. Right there is Alvi.
Okay, there's Alvi. Hard even for me to tell on this screen.
I know.
Looking into the sun. Is Alvi a little taller than Jose? Let's figure out a way to make this easier for everyone at home and for us in the booth.
That's a close call. We're going to have to ask one of them to wear a watch or something.
Yeah, exactly. A wristband.
Yep.
So right there, you see how, we're looking at the screen and the overhead's all covered by one person. Here whoops. See, that's the move. That sometimes, you can find yourself a little bit off the net. Friedrich, fired the forehand, and Regalado handled it beautifully.
So that positioning is not what you would teach.
You wouldn't really teach it because most people are not going to be able to come up with that kind of a controlled volley in that situation.
Seeing a heavy dose of roller overheads. Talked about this in the quarterfinals, how that's one of the few overheads in the hot weather that can stay low off the screens and not give the baseline team much potential to drive. 4-0 Regalado Salazar.
So rough start for Benkaim, Friedrich here. Both of them broken on their serve. But, I mean, that's just the Regalado Salazar factor. They just don't miss. When I said 95%, they make 95% of their drives. I'm not wrong so far in this match.
And I would say the same thing about their volleys. You are seeing Benkaim get some good looks at forehands, and they are sticking the volley. Nice lob there.
Really good lob. You know, the
Benkaim,
temperature's cooling down a little bit, Billy, so that could help. You know, Russell likes to set up the play. I haven't seen Gabe play as much as I have seen Benkaim play, and you know, he's a tactician out there. He's watching his opponents the whole time, and he has every shot in the book, and it's just a matter of his shot selection and his risk-taking. Sometimes he'll pull the trigger maybe a little soon when there's not an urgent need to do so in a point, and that's the balance you figure out as a top player.
Level of patience. I like how you're seeing Gabriel Friedrich move up a little bit in the court, right? Regalado and Salazar are picking on that ad court, and Friedrich is trying to change his positioning, trying to influence them. Hey, hit it over here.
Right, because they're staying away from his forehand.
Right.
He's got that heavy forehand.
Right.
And you can see right there, the risk of going over is you make yourself a little bit vulnerable.
You got to be selective, right? If it's a short lob, you have to go back to your corner. Oh, great move
See,
up there by Russell Benkaim.
That's the Benkaim move right there.
Still, I mean, straight back to the baseline, happily back there, playing from the backcourt from Regalado Salazar. Something I think Regalado Salazar are exceptionally good at too is their on-court communication for every overhead. They're both saying something, whose is it, but also, you know, lob it, you know, if it's a low ball. Salazar serving here, 30-15. Nice lob by Benkaim.
Oh, my.
Nice lob by Benkaim.
Wait a second. Did you just see that volley?
Unbelievable. It didn't even pop up. It was from his shoelaces. And
that's what I'm talking about. The hands and the low ball, forehand, backhand. It doesn't matter. They're so good.
Here we go. Friedrich gets to play some overheads here. First real look at him playing multiple shots.
Yeah, Gabe's got to get in. He's got to get more touches in this match for sure.
It's a great overhead. Backside through the body. Sits really low on the side screen. Great overhead by Friedrich. This is where 30 alls, deuces, it has been near impossible to hurt them. And of course, right on cue, we get the missed overhead.
Announcer's curse.
Can we take advantage if you're Russell Benkaim and Friedrich?
Yeah, this would be a great game for them to convert, get a break, and, you know, so then they'd only be down a break in this set. But that's the thing about Salazar and Regalado when they play. They're out here to win every game, Billy, and I have such respect and regard for how they play the game. I mean, there's so many great players out here, but I love how they go about it. And, you know, they don't mess around. They're out here to win tournaments, and, you know, to watch their level of play be so high all the time is remarkable to me.
Not a bad ball to try for a drive there from Russell Benkaim. Just missed it.
But why is he driving that ball? Because he can. What's he going to get out of it? Is he going to hit a winner against Salazar and Regalado? No, he's got to make him just hit another volley.
That's right.
You know, there's no winners to be had out here on this court because every player is just phenomenal. But it's the combination of shots that are going to be effective where you can kind of get in your opponent's head a little bit. And when you have the opportunity for a drive, you get a good look. You got to pick a good spot on the other side. You know, and also to keep your level of confidence up high that you can take that shot when you get it the next time. It's got to be super thoughtful.
That's tough.
Regalado and Salazar. Regalado and Salazar lead the first set 5 games to 1.
Corient is the official wealth sponsor of the APTA's 2025-26 season. Corient is a fee-only wealth manager who puts their clients at the center of everything they do. Learn more at corient.com. So we got to get a little traction here. If you're Benkaim and Friedrich, you're down 0-5. We got to get a little bit of momentum. Maybe we don't win this set, but maybe we can sneak a couple games in here. Feel a little bit better going into that second set. Find some spots to hit our overheads, make some first volleys. They are getting opportunities to drive at the baseline, but like you said, is there value to it with how good the hands of Regalado and Salazar are?
Billy, on the women's side, semifinals, we had Lopez and Page, just phenomenal semifinal. They looked so strong going through this event. Took out Davis and Tansel in the semifinals. On the other side, Alexandre and Lalich took out our tournament number 2 seeds, Morgan and Sikora. Really strong match, and that sets up for an amazing women's final tomorrow at 9:30, live from Montclair Golf Club.
I was watching that match. That was a phenomenal paddle match. There was some amazing athleticism and gets from all 4 ladies. That was a great match. Excellent result for Alexander and Lalich. Should be a great final tomorrow. It's at 9:30 in the morning. That's the set.
We'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel with live streaming provided by ProFlight and Steambox Labs.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're here at the Montclair Open in West Orange, New Jersey, with semifinal action between Alvi Regalado and Jose Salazar up against Russell Benkaim and Gabe Friedrich. I'm Patty Hogan along with Billy Horn. As you can see, Salazar, Regalado, 6-0 first set. Called out brilliantly, of course, by our umpire, Montclair member, Carol Everson. Carol's a longtime APTA umpire, great sport. Great fun to have her here, and she's so proud. She gave me a great tour of this beautiful campus here at Montclair Golf. It is unbelievable, Billy. I went over, checked out the golf shop, the tennis facility, the pool. I mean, they've got it all. Tons of like hangout lounge areas. I see people watching college football games all over the place. You know, just phenomenal. Really great spirit around the entire campus that makes up Montclair Golf Club.
It is a phenomenal site. We really appreciate them hosting for the past 3 years, and they've done a great job setting up here for this paddle event. They have food trucks, music over in the parking lot. We have a great crowd out there this evening. It is really a good time. Starting Salazar Regalado again.
All right, who's serving?
Oh boy, good question. I'm gonna say that is Salazar, starting the set.
I agree.
Like you said, go with the Top Gun right away in that second set. If it worked in the first, why not?
Oh yeah, he led them off. They never were broken in that first set. Benkaim, Friedrich each were broken once in that set, and that's how you get to 6-0. So, all right. Benkaim, Friedrich, what do they do out here?
Oh, missed it.
You know, it's interesting. Like, Russell, he saw what was coming again, and that's where Jose and Alvi, they bait opponents into, like, they know Benkaim loves that two-handed backhand scoot up that side screen. So they're going to give it to him because they're like, okay, we'll give you your favorite shot because we can defend that shot.
Yeah, they're not fearing it. They're not fearing that offense from Benkaim. They're almost inviting it in some ways, trying to see if they can get him to make an error. Got to see if we can find a spot to lob if you're Russell and Gabriel Friedrich. Bringing a lot up the line towards that deuce court. These are two good drives by Friedrich. Nice high percentage drives through the middle of the court. Here you go. Another high percentage drive right in between them or at them. Keep making them come up with volleys. Don't force.
And see, that's where Salazar, Regalado, if there's anything to be said, because we got to find something. We got to give hope to Benkaim, Friedrich. You know, they do tend to play off the net. They don't close in. So even though they knew that drive was coming, they just stand there and they're like, okay, let's see what you got, Gabe. Put the ball on my feet, you know, and they've handled every volley. That's, I think, the first volley ever. Think about it. Did they miss a volley in the first set?
I didn't see one.
So that's where they could be potentially vulnerable, and that's where, you know, I don't think they're going to bring Gabe's forehand into this match. You know, they, like I said, they kind of will give a guy his strength almost. I think
that was the first game you saw Friedrich have multiple forehands in back-to-back points. Yes.
And so I would call that sort of a brainless game from Salazar and Regalado.
A little bit of a walkabout.
Yeah, maybe they just won that first set easy in what they're thinking, and they're like, okay, let's mix it up and move the ball around a little bit. And that's why, you know, Gabe's forehand is lights out, and he burned him on it. So I'll be curious if they go away from that and then continue their focus into that ad corner on Benkaim all day long.
Sure, I'm sure they'll tighten it back up and get back to the first set game plan. Russell Benkaim now hatless, serving from the bottom of your screen. Friedrich still on the white hat and the sleeve, taking the overhead right now. And then we got Alvi Regalado in the deuce court at the top of our screen, and Salazar in the ad court, also at the top of our screen.
So that's the move we talked about from the past, where Jose was always deuce court. Now they moved over, just sort of puts a different element to their shot making out there, and we'll be curious to see. It's hard to believe they can get better, but I mean, these guys work so hard. They play a million tournaments, and you know, they play summer paddle. They just, you know, you watch them here the first term of the year, and there's no rust.
They look great. You know, it's also important. They're getting reps in early in the year, where they're building trust in a little bit of a different formation, so that when we get to later in the season, they have choices that they can make. You know, how do they want to go into each set? They need to mix it up. They probably can go right back to what they did last year and the year before.
So talk about later in the season. What's coming up on the APTA Tour? What's our first stretch of events here?
Yeah, so there's 15 tour events this year. We start off really strong. We're going Montclair, obviously, this weekend. The 2 weekends from now, we have the Medina Cup, followed directly after by Baltimore, and then our first Grand Prix early in November out in Chicago. There are 5 Grand Prix this year, Patty.
5 Grand Prix, and then we have Cleveland. It kind of figures that's your first segment of the season, and then we get a Thanksgiving weekend off.
That's nice, and come right back with another Grand Prix.
That's right, at Aronimink. Lots of paddle ahead every weekend. We apologize for being off air next weekend, but everybody needs a break.
That's right, let it get a little cooler, hopefully.
If you're out there and you're watching this match and you have any questions, you want to ask Billy Horn, put them in the chat room. We'll try to answer them.
Bring it on.
shout out to, among our sponsors, New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League. Jenna McClintock's the president this year. She's out here enjoying the action, down a few beers. The league is real supportive of all the events that are held in New Jersey, as are the Men's Platform Tennis Association, New Jersey Women's Flex League. A lot of support. These tournaments take a lot of support, and we're grateful to all the league support that New Jersey gets.
Regalado Salazar break right back, instantly righting the ship. Good deep lobs by Friedrich and Benkaim right now, causing some movement at the net, which we didn't see a lot of in the first set. Another good lob by Friedrich. Yep. Much better with the deep lobbing. You can see that they're causing Regalado and Salazar to have to move north-south, back for the overhead, up to the net. Little miscues and higher percentage drives. They're not trying to drive to the outside of the court. They're trying to drive through the middle.
Two break points for Benkaim Friedrich. I mean, this is a great start to the second set for them.
Good job by them. Let's see if they can convert here. This would be huge. Friedrich and Benkaim got switched in the backcourt. Friedrich totally fine over there, playing in years past with Dennis.
Yeah, they were. I love watching that team of Friedrich and Dennis. I mean, they were great. Nancy Dennis. I miss seeing him out here.
Me too.
So
Great
hopefully
player.
we'll see him back in the future. You know, Corian is our official sponsor of the APTA this year, and Jenny Sowers is a member here of the Montclair Golf Club, Billy Horn. And I don't know if you've met Jenny, but she's kind of a unique person in the sport of platform tennis. We're going to welcome her to the booth. Welcome, Jenny.
Hi, Patty. How are you?
Have a seat. We need you to be comfortable. You're
Hi.
You're our official sponsor. And you're good, Billy. Billy, you're going to keep watching the match. Jenny and I, we got to talk. This is girls' time, so just close your ears. We're going to talk. You keep an eye on the match.
Perfect.
So, Jenny, we can't thank you enough. This has been an amazing partnership for the APTA to get the support from you and Corian for another season here. How exciting is that for you?
We are thrilled to do it. It was our first full year last year sponsoring. We'd sponsored a few local events, Montclair, Short Hills, and decided to turn it into a national sponsorship last year. And we had such a great experience. It was so much fun throughout the season, really using some of the bigger events throughout the year to activate some events with our clients, with our friends. It was terrific.
Well, I mean, it is phenomenal, the support you're showing, and phenomenal. You're a member here. How lucky are you to be a member of Montclair Golf Club? What a facility to host our first event of the APTA season, and with you as the sponsor, Corian, I think it's only appropriate that we get to showcase our game's best talents starting here in Montclair.
I love it. It always feels like a party and a reunion here. We're lucky being the first event of the season. It's still, summer weather out here, so we can take advantage of our nice facility, great grounds. Players are using our pool areas, the locker room, and et cetera. So it's really got a summer kind of party feel as we start the fall and start the real paddle season in earnest. And I'll tell you, as someone that played today, it was pretty warm out there.
Yeah, where did you play? What club were you? And how many different clubs did you get to play at today?
Only 2.
Okay, only 2. What clubs?
I spent most of my day at one of my favorite, besides Montclair, one of my favorite facilities in New Jersey, which is Indian Trail.
Ah,
so
phenomenal.
It was a beautiful day to be on the lake up there. And then I finished out the day over just 5 minutes down the road at Essex Fells.
Did anybody jump into the water in Indian Trail Club today? Because mixed nationals last year, I might know 2 people from up in Queensbury, New York, from Glens Falls Country Club, who it was a warm day as well, and they got a running start and jumped off that dock.
I think I
held
saw
their
some
breath.
footage of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it went viral.
I was sort of focused on my matches, so I can't confirm or deny if anyone jumped in the lake, but it would have been a really nice day for it. It was gorgeous up there.
Yeah, an Indian Trail with under the leadership of Anthony Cosmano doing a phenomenal job up there. Great support from the whole club always. They just love paddle. We love having events out of there.
Absolutely.
So, Jenny, have you pulled in any Corient colleagues into the sport of platform tennis? Have you roped them into the game that you love?
Well, I didn't have to actually rope anybody in. It's funny, once we started talking about it inside of our firm, we found out how many players and how many paddle sort of fanatics we have throughout the country. I mean, it's funny how a lot of our largest offices map to some of the places where paddle is the most popular. So when we think about Chicago, Detroit, Boston, Philly, New York, Connecticut, etc. A lot of the places where we're holding Grand Prix events and some of the largest events of the tour year map to where we have large offices and a lot of team members and a lot of clients. So, when we look at our Boston office, our Chicago office, a lot of our team members are active players in the leagues, in the places that they play, and so that makes it a really natural fit for us to have some of the events that we have throughout the year, bringing clients out for pro-ams, et cetera, ahead of some of these large events.
Okay, for 1 second. Billy, can you just tell us, I see Benkaim Friedrich turn this match around. They're up 3-1. Salazar, Regalado have both been broken in this second set.
That's correct. Yeah, they had a very big deuce point at 1-1, and Benkaim came up with a great volley. It was an excellent point by both sides, and Benkaim came up with a big-time drop shot volley, which he just went for again there. And I just think that Friedrich and Benkaim have raised their level of play. Their energy level is much higher this set. Maybe Regalado Salazar's energy level dropped a little bit. See if they can bring it back up.
Jenny, who are your favorite teams to watch? I keep asking people this question. No one likes to answer it, but you're a bold woman. What's your answer?
Well, obviously, home court here. Always love watching Mick when he gets out there, so that's really fun. Regalado Salazar, a lot of fun. I love, as a lefty, I love Nunez. I think he's really fun to
What's
watch.
not to love about Guy?
Yes. So, yeah, there was a lot of fun things to watch on the women's side today, too.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
upsets.
Such talent. Early season, interesting.
Yep.
See how things kind of take shape as we kick off this season. And Mick Erdoya, you know him well here, obviously, as a member of Montclair. He is a phenomenal talent in our game. But besides his playing ability, which I think if you ask people who are the top 5 players of all time, I say I got Mick Erdoya on one of my first 3 picks, I would say. Tell me about his leadership here at Montclair for the program.
I mean, it's really pretty incredible. He came to us, I'm going to screw this up maybe, but pre-COVID probably started in 2019. And when I think about the state of the program at that point, we've always had strong rackets here with a core group of players on the tennis and paddle side. But when Mick joined us, he really turned this into a world-class rackets program where it's actually been a big draw of members in this area to join Montclair versus other clubs because of the strength that we've got across, paddle, tennis, and pickleball, with a focus on not just the top players and the real active players in the game, but developing new players, developing interest as young as juniors, a lot on the beginner side, and really developing lifelong love for these sports throughout our membership. So it's amazing to me. When I first joined here, anyone that I would see on a paddle or tennis court, I kind of knew. And now it's amazing to me to come up and play tennis and play paddle and see new faces every single day, which is the sign of a really strong and growing program.
Yeah, you had 5 courts full of newbies last night out here.
Yep.
I mean, Mick ran a clinic. It was phenomenal to watch. And just like Mick Iradoya and Montclair, APTA and Corient, a perfect partnership, phenomenal timing, and we are so appreciative of your sponsorship of the APTA Tour.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled to do it. It's such a great partnership. So many, logical fits here, and we're thrilled to do it, and excited to be able to join you two for a few minutes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jenny Sowers.
All right.
Thank you,
All
Jenny.
right. Thanks.
We're back here. It's 3-2 in the second set. Benkaim and Friedrich have taken the lead, still up a break. They're about to serve. They've just done a little bit of a better job with their lobs, I think, Patty. Maybe it's making me think of last year's match when Broderick and Christian, really limited Regalado Salazar's ability to play towards the sides of the court, where they were placing their lobs. Most of their overheads are now going through the middle of the court, setting up the Benkaim forehand or the Friedrich forehand. And the other thing they're doing a really good job of is very few drive errors. They're just driving through the middle, asking Regalado Salazar to keep coming up with volleys and making very, very few unforced errors. We'll see if Benkaim can hold to keep this momentum.
So Salazar was broken in that last game. I was talking to Jenny Sowers. I wasn't really paying attention to the paddle. Billy, I apologize, but now I'm back.
Nope. Jenny's a very important person in the New Jersey area. She did a great job this weekend.
Wait, so Salazar broken twice already in this set and Regalado once? Is that true? I think that could be the case.
I think Salazar just held.
Oh, he did?
To come
Okay.
back. Yeah, it was 3-1 Benkaim Friedrich. Salazar held.
Got it.
And now we're at 15:30 with Benkaim serving.
Thank you.
I think from the net as well, Benkaim and Friedrich are dealing a little more with Regalado's drive than Salazar's drive, and it seems to be a switch that they've made. Stay away from that Salazar drive in the ad court, and let Albie drive from the deuce court. Oh, thank you.
Game, Regalado, Salazar. The second set is tied at 3 games all.
Okay, so much for being
As
up or down a
expected.
service break. Back at 3-all, second set. We are in the semifinals of men's play at the Montclair Open in West Orange, New Jersey. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Billy Horn, Massachusetts' finest.
It's the little choices here. In the last service game, you have Benkaim serving. It's down love 15, and you had Friedrich set up for an easy overhead, and he tries for a drop shot, and now all of a sudden they're down love 30, and that's just not what they need versus a team that's as solid as Regalado Salazar. It's also, if you're a player who likes that creativity, it's hard to put that away. Little lack of energy, loss of energy from Friedrich. Benkaim giving him some love. Here we go, buddy. Let's see if we can take advantage of these 2 faults from Regalado. Unusual.
Big shout out to Sean Leonard. Got the win in the Montclair Open, 75-90 PTI division today. I think Sean was playing singles. That's how good he is.
That's a great win from Sean. Congratulations.
So we talked about Jackie Cameron and Cindy Haber, who are our East Coast coordinators for the APTA Tour. Our directors out in the Midwest, Leslie Parsons, Kathleen Turnbull, and they're handling the Midwest and the West Tour events. They do a phenomenal job, and that's what makes these events so professional. Thanks to all the tour directors.
Yeah, if you're just watching the screen there, they had 2 break points in a row and 2 loose forehands. Lower percentage forehands, 50-50 choices. 1 point deuce, again, for our listeners. All right, big game there. Big break of serve on Regalado's serve there. That's a second break on Regalado's serve from Friedrich and Benkaim. Back up a break.
All right. Things are looking much better for Friedrich here and Benkaim in this second set. They've upped their level of play, and it's interesting because I said Regalado, Salazar are phenomenal front runners. If they win the first set, it seems like they win 99% of the matches.
You can just see their body language a little bit at the bottom of the screen. You know, they're kind of standing still. Not a lot of bounce in their step. I think they got to get together and fight hard to end this in 2. You know, seeing that the other semifinal is whoever wins that one, it's going to be a really good battle tomorrow morning. I'd like to see Friedrich and Benkaim taking a little more time in this game, making Salazar and Regalado wait for them. Setting the tone, setting the tempo of the match.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that. I think we need to get Jose or Alvy to wear like a temporary tattoo on the back of their calf so we can actually tell them apart here on the stream.
Literally identical, from shoes to the hat.
See Salazar, we're used to seeing him playing the deuce court. He's moved over to the ad court here for this Montclair Open.
If we're playing I Spy, Patty, I think Regalado has a little black bracelet on.
I think he does. I think it's a heart rate monitor, maybe.
Might be the tell.
What do you think his heart rate is?
Right now, I think he's pretty low. He's a pretty cool customer.
During the Ryder Cup, you saw they had those wristbands, and Justin Thomas was getting ready for a huge putt, and his heart rate's like 140. Jose and Alvy, I don't think their heart rate probably ever gets over 75.
No, they're so smooth. I like how all 4 players are putting a heavy emphasis on this first point of this game. Nobody's rushing, nobody's forcing. They know the importance of the end of the second set for both teams. That's the lob I'm talking about. That just limits where they can play that overhead. Down the middle again. Yep.
I
Great
saw a
job by
backhand
Benkaim.
volley there. Who says they don't hit backhand volleys?
Another great lob by Benkaim.
See right there, that's where there's a huge opening. And I kind of would like to actually see Benkaim continue in and just force that pressure because he's got a huge hole in front of him there.
On Friedrich's drive.
Yeah, he was looking at it, and they were able to volley away from Russell. But I love the move.
I do too. Do you think that if they saw Benkaim moving in, do you think that that's when you would see one of them close closer almost?
Well, they don't do that. They don't
Yeah.
really close in those situations. And that's where you'll see other players really seal off that net, get right on top of it. But I think your point early in this set where the lobbing from Friedrich and Benkaim has improved a lot.
Absolutely. The spot of the lob there, that one.
Yeah. The guy backs up beyond the service line. Then that's negating his ability to do too much with the overhead.
And the width of the lob, or the lack of width of the lob. They're not lobbing wide. They're lobbing down the center of the court.
A really narrow lane where
Right.
they're going, and so they're being super disciplined here.
I think right. The other adjustment is every drive they're hitting is straight over the center strap of that net. They're not going wide with the drive. They're just say, can you come up with a volley? which Regalado and Salazar do regularly. But again, if they're caught a little far off that net, there you go. This is the longest point of the match, and should be. 3-4, great point, long point. Benkaim and Friedrich come up with that win there. The longer the point, the more important it is.
Hey,
Good
Billy, you know who's enjoying the action from Maine? Even north of you, David Chelson.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to David enjoying the action today. And we thank Master Athletics for their support of this event as well. I'm a longtime fan, president of the David Chelson Fan Club. He's done a tremendous amount giving back to this game. Really providing so much support to me over the years and everything I've tried to pull off for the APTA, Junior Nats, any event. Who are you going to call? If I'm in trouble, I'm going to call Dave Chelson. Even if I'm not in trouble, I call Dave Chelson.
Great personality when he's around the tournaments. He's nice. It brings a different energy to it.
For sure. Every tournament for years and years and years. David had the hat, the scar.
I don't like where those drives went from Friedrich. Just stick to the game plan. That's getting you the big point wins.
But I don't mind it because I do like that occasional drive down the line to keep these guys honest. I think you go middle, 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 but you do have to spread it out a little bit. And if you can spread it out with consistency on your drives, then it opens up the middle again for your team.
True.
You can't go there too many times, but it's a slightly lower percentage, higher part of the net, blah, blah, blah. But these guys are so good they can hit it anywhere they want.
Right. Good close by Benkaim, just didn't execute. 15-30.
Big point right here
Yep.
in this match. Really good serve. Push Salazar over a little bit. Hit the line, I think.
He doesn't miss that many returns. That's a great serve by Friedrich. Rich. Nice. Huge point.
Benkaim loves he's got the variety, he's got the cutters, the slashes. Really fun to watch him with his combination of overheads.
Amazing anticipation from Regalado, getting that drop shot and then recovering and lobbing to take the net.
So in the other semifinal, host pro Mick Doya is teaming up with Graham McNerney, our current national champion, with Adam Morgan. Adam's not here today, so Graham and Mick won the first set over Dubbage and Pardo, 6-1, and they're up 3-2 in the second set.
Another team that's very hard to hurt when they're at the net are Doya and McNerney.
Last year, Regalado Salazar. They played a ton of tournaments. They had 6 wins plus 1 final. 6-1 in finals on the APTA tour. That's why they're #1 team in the country.
Yeah, playing a total of 9 tournaments. That's impressive.
McNerney and Morgan finished the year last year #2 ranked team in the country. They had 3 tournament wins with the most important win in the APTA National Championships down in Philadelphia. Plus, they played in 3 other finals.
They were so impressive down the stretch at the end of the year. Their level of play and consistency, McNerney and Morgan.
Yeah, Salazar 6 tournament wins with Alvey obviously equaled on the women's side last year by Burris and Elliott, who had 6 tournament wins plus 2 other finals. Macy played today with Mick's assistant, one of his assistant pros here. They didn't last very long in the tournament, but you know, Macy's #1 player in our game, #1 ranking, phenomenal talent, phenomenal person. And super kind of her to come out and really help launch Mick's assistant's career by getting on the court with one of our game's most amazing players ever, probably, and 4 national titles Macy owns.
What a great experience for her to have a player of that caliber to spend the day with on the court.
Yeah, I hope
Probably
she
learned a
sends
lot.
Macy a thank you note.
Friedrich and Benkaim take that game to go up 5-3 in the second set.
Wow, Billy. We might be headed for a long night.
Those were great points by Friedrich and Benkaim. Played on their terms, I think. If there was a critique of Regalado Salazar, and I should not be the one to critique them, but in this kind of a match where their opponents have done a job of kind of slowing the tempo down, could they take a little more risk? Could they start rolling these overheads from a little bit deeper to encourage a little bit faster play rather than pushing down the middle and being steady, which is very much their style and what they've. It's hard to argue with success.
It's a curious question. I mean, I watched this and the level of Benkaim and Friedrich's play in the second set, lights out compared to that first set. So they've kind of taken the air out of the balloon for Regalado Salazar here. This is the first time I've seen Salazar Regalado play with Jose over in that ad court and Alvi. And Alvi's playing a quiet match. I want to see him insert himself a little bit more in here. I feel like it's almost too quiet a match from Alvi.
Right. Does he bring himself into it? That's what I mean. Can he elevate his game and bring a little more energy to it? And maybe that's taking some risk on the overhead on something that's deeper. Maybe bait Benkaim and Friedrich into a drive where you'd see them maybe make a mistake.
So I'm just fascinated with the switching of the courts, because I feel like the creativity that comes out of Alvi when he plays, I just love watching it. And he's not getting enough looks. He's not getting any kind of combination of shots. He's not getting 2 consecutive shots where he can kind of do his thing. And kudos to Benkaim and Friedrich, because they're keeping the ball away from him and they're just going a little bit more to Salazar in this match. And, they're handling what Jose's sending their way.
Yeah, it just feels like what they need right now is a tempo change. Some kind of tempo change. It seems like the tempo is being dictated by Friedrich and Benkaim. Where the lobs are, the pace that their opponents are able to hit on the overheads. I'd love to see them encourage something with maybe a little bit of faster play, because that's how you maybe make your opponents make some bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that overhead there where he's deeper but he's still going for a wide shot. Just not all the time. Just as a mix-up.
So why don't we go around the horn and identify the players where they are standing right now, if you would, Billy?
Sure. At the top of our screen, we have Dennis Friedrich, who has the white sleeve and the white hat on.
That's
He's
Gabe.
in our deuce court.
Yep.
And then Russell Benkaim in the ad court. No hat, blue shirt. At the bottom of our screen, it's going to take a little guesswork here with our identical uniforms. I think that is Salazar on the right.
I think you're right.
And Regalado on the left. Set point for Benkaim and Friedrich. 2 set points because we're playing the 1-point deuce.
That's right. So lots of breaks of serve for Benkaim Friedrich in this match to really turn this match totally around. As you said it, they seem like they're dictating play, and I love that they didn't really come into the second set with any sense of urgency. They just kind of had a quiet confidence between them that their teamwork's going to play off. They've just got to let this match play out. Kind of just got away from them early on, and then they dug in their heels to their credit, and total swing of momentum in this second set.
That's it. Nice roller to the neck. Regalado is at the net. Salazar is serving. Oh, and there's a fault for the second set. Split sets here. Regalado, Salazar take the first, and Benkaim and Friedrich take the second.
Billy, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel with live stream provided by ProFlight and Steambox Labs.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're here at the Montclair Open in West Orange, New Jersey with men's semifinal action. Our tournament number one seeded team of Regalado Salazar up against Benkaim and Friedrich. We are in a third set. As you can see, Jose and Alvy won the first 6-0. We're dominant. All of a sudden, Russell and Gabe have figured it out, turned this match totally around, won that second set 6-3, and we're off. Billy, this is quite a turnaround.
This is what we came for, right?
Exactly.
Excited to see a third set here. Benkaim started serving, quickly rattled off two faults, unfortunately. Let's see if Regalado Salazar can change gears here and go up a higher gear, right? That's what the best players in our game do when their opponents raise their game. Their ability to raise their game one step higher.
And I'll tell you, this is a key game for Russell Benkaim. And I said how in that second set they had no sense of urgency. But then Russell, he was off to the races. Like he was a shot clock there and two quick faults. So Russell, if anything, I would just say he's got to keep it calm and not force the action here. They're the ones who are in control of this match right now.
Settle down, stick to your game plan that worked.
Who would benefit by a faster pace of play of these two teams? It's definitely Regalado Salazar. Like, they love playing slow. They're an amazing fast team as well. But I think in this matchup, Russell and Gabe just have to chill. They don't have to force anything. They have to out Alvy and out Jose and Alvy.
And then there's another good example of forcing it, right? There's a try for a drop shot overhead at love 40 instead of staying patient and building a point.
So you don't teach that?
I teach it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I advise it.
You say when you're down love 40, here's the shot you try? And that's just, like, that's maturity as a paddle player and discipline, I would say. And that's where Benkaim has every part of this equation, and he's just got to get that little piece of picking and choosing a little bit better. And even though this match is long from over, that was a huge start to the third set, especially for Jose you know, Alvey, they kind of were flat here, and now they've got a boost of energy.
Absolutely. I ran out of the
That's
booth.
Salazar serving without a hat.
Yeah, I ran out of the booth and asked one of them to take their hat off. So Salazar nicely complied.
You really did?
No.
I believed you.
I sold that one. No, he's in the deuce court currently, and you have Regalado with the hat still on in the ad court, walking over to the deuce court right now.
About to return serve, Russell Benkaim.
That's right.
And that's Gabe Friedrich in the deuce court.
Update on the other semifinal, we just had Erdoya and McNerney win 6-1, 6-3. So we will be seeing them again tomorrow morning to face the winner of this match.
Russell Benkaim is the new director of platform tennis at Orange Lawn Club. And he also teaches pickle and tennis in the summer at Mountain Ridge. Former University of Utah tennis player. Gabe played for South Carolina. Lives up in Stamford, Connecticut. And he's the head pro at Weburn Country Club.
Two great rackets backgrounds. Well, all four of them have great rackets backgrounds. Like you said, Patty, it's discipline. You're starting to, you know, right there when Benkaim and Friedrich took the net, you're not seeing the overhead slide down the middle of the court. You saw an offensive overhead out wide, which was spotted by Salazar, and, you know, it opened up the court. Salazar hit a nice drive, and Friedrich and Benkaim were spread out a little too much. Instead of staying together, stay in that tempo that won you that second set. The tempo has elevated a little bit, and it's definitely, you know, that elevated tempo is going to benefit Regalado Salazar.
Well, even though that second set was won by Benkaim and Friedrich, you kind of always feel like it's Jose and Alvey's match. Always. I don't know. That's how I always feel when I watch them.
To win or lose.
I feel like it's always their match unless the other team does something phenomenal. It's kind of like watching Graham McNerney, Adam Morgan, Mick Erdoya. These guys play. They don't beat themselves ever. You never see them beat themselves in a match. That's what makes them so good. That's why they are the top players in our sport.
Yep, there's Benkaim again overhitting. A little bit of an overhead, and it bounced out of the court. That's a point to Regalado Salazar. They are up 40-30 on their serve to go up 2-0 in this second set. And I think Benkaim and Friedrich have to get together and really get back to that strategy. That last shot by Benkaim was a lob the entire second set.
Okay, so Billy Horn, we have a guest here. Graham, take a seat.
Oh, thank you.
I take a seat for a national champ any day of the week. Billy, you can sit tight, keep watching the tennis, the paddle, whatever we're watching here. Regalado Salazar have righted their ship. Obviously, they're up 2-0 early in this third set. And Graham, you and Mick just had a really strong win. Tell us about your match.
Yeah, we pulled it out in a good two-setter. I think we owe a beer for Drew and Tomas for grinding those guys in the sun earlier because they came out a little tired. But then once they loosened up and Enrique started firing, we had some great points, and they were tough to put away. So, yeah, a lot of fun.
Well, we're glad you came here and teamed up with Mick for this event.
Absolutely. He's a great partner. I would highly recommend to anyone who can play with him to play with him.
Yeah, get the guy from Estonia if you ever can.
Yeah, exactly.
When will we see McNerney and Morgan make their debut?
We'll be making our debut at Medina. We got, I think Adam Morgan is the overlord of the Medina Cup, as I like to say. I never beat him, so I had to join with him to win it. So we're going to try to defend our title, and his probably 5th in a row or something silly.
Graham, how fun a summer did you have having won the national championships? How impactful was that for your life?
You know,
I mean, it's huge.
It is huge. Actually, it was after I won, I was like, wow, this is I hope I'm not like underwhelmed or anything, but I'll tell you what, I slept like a baby ever since, and it's been great. And everyone's been so nice. Like the first time I see him, I get to keep reliving it because I'll see people here for the first time, and they'll give me a huge congratulations and high five, and I don't have to ask what they're talking about, so I just get to keep reliving it. It's great.
Yeah, you guys just had incredible, run in the Philly Nationals. I mean, it was really fun to watch, and, Billy and I were two of the people who watched the whole 5 hours of it, and we talk about the length of matches all the time. So it's an interesting thing, and I always say to people, you know, what would you give to be in the position where you could play for 5 hours and maintain that level of play? Think about what a challenge that is in sports. And I don't know of many sports where our athletes, other athletes, can do that. And you guys do that, and that's why, as an announcer, we joke about, we're on Graham's match. Oh, boy, this is going to go on. But we love it because the level that we get to see of play, and we get the front row seat to it, is awesome. So we totally appreciate the length of the matches. And, you know, if it takes you 4 hours to win it, you don't care. If you could win it in an hour, you would.
Totally. And what I've found is, like, you just cannot go on the court anymore without the mindset of I am willing to play for however long it takes in order to win. Because if you go out there expecting a score or a timeline, then you're going to press, and pressing and paddle is death. So you just got to go out there and willing to leave it all out there and whatever it takes.
And I mean, so you got the hardware, you got that huge trophy that you get to split for the year with Adam Morgan. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense that you actually bought a house, because you're racking up the trophies, and the medals don't take up much space, but those trophies you're winning on the APTA Tour year after year, Graham, they've got to add up. Do you have a trophy room?
I don't have a trophy room for sure, but I will say my wife was kind of hiding them more and more. I feel like she would take one away a week and stuff it, because we lived in a one-bedroom together, but now that we have a house, she can just go throw them in the basement and be like, that's your space, you can do whatever you want, but I don't want to look at those all day. So maybe I'll leave the national ones up in the living room as on a pedestal that everyone has to touch as they walk in, but besides that, they're
with some backlighting, Graham.
Exactly.
People walk into your house on a Saturday night when you're not playing a paddle tournament, and they walk in, and over the mantle is your national championship trophy.
That works just right for me. I don't mind that at all. So you guys got to catch me up here, because I was just peeking over a little bit, which I probably shouldn't have been, but obviously a tough three-setter, and seeing Jose and Alvi on opposite sides, which I hadn't seen before this weekend. So how has this one been going?
Take it away, Billy.
Yeah, Billy, catch me up.
So Regalado Salazar came out of the gates full speed ahead.
Full speed, yeah.
Little nerves maybe from Benkaim and Friedrich, but after that first set, Benkaim and Friedrich had a very solid lob plan.
Okay.
Slowed Regalado and Salazar down. Made them play basically through the middle of the court with their overheads quite a bit. And now you're seeing them kind of get away from that.
Okay.
I'm seeing Benkaim put overheads out wide, which is setting up now Salazar in the ad court.
It's a scary thought over that backhand now over there is a scary thought.
Yep. And sometimes he's hitting that backhand, and sometimes he's moving around it and hitting a topspin forehand.
And how many forehand looks did Regalado Salazar give Friedrich in the second set, Billy?
A lot, and I think that was a result of the lobbing.
Okay.
Right, where it brought the ball into where that's a little bit shorter than they were lobbing, and there it is. That's the good lob right there. And I also think Regalado and Salazar were a little more conservative with that overhead, pushing it rather than rolling it. That overhead there.
Gotcha.
Getting back to it, though, Benkaim and Friedrich getting back to that lob strategy that was successful. Too little, too late, maybe?
Let's hope not. I just settled in,
That's right.
I canceled my dinner plans. Patty Hogan gave me the look,
Yeah,
and I
let's
knew
go,
I couldn't
Graham.
say no.
We're going out Saturday night.
That's right.
Don't go far. Take a seat. How many events will you guys play on the APTA Tour this year, you and Adam?
I don't really know. I probably, I can give you a number, but knowing me, it's probably a lie. So
well, you play more. You love playing, love getting your reps in early in the season.
Yep.
I know you're how you approach the season, Graham. You go hard every tournament early on, and you'll play with a lot of different. Historically, you'll play with a lot of different partners.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. So we'll see. I'm probably aiming for about 8. Just to take it easy on the body, but you know how it goes. You start looking at the rankings of the APTA Cup ranking, and you know the money, and all of a sudden you find yourself in Denver in December, and you're like, how did I get here? It's like, chasing some points. So
chasing some points, chasing some cash.
Exactly. Who knows? Hopefully not that many this year, but I probably will. We all know.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to shovel snow for the first time in your life, Graham.
No.
I mean, what's your wife going to do on the weekends when you're playing tournament and it snows?
I live in a carriage house with an HOA, and I'm sure I hope we outsource that. If not, I'm going to email my president tonight.
If you're coming back to the action, you're seeing Regalado and Salazar go back to more rollers, even well off the net, which they were not doing in the second set, keeping the tempo of the point a little bit higher than it was.
Oh, wow.
What a get.
What a cutter. Jose's roller is unbelievable. It's not normally like a winning shot, but he literally never misses, and every once in a while he gets a nick, but as a backcourt player, you just feel under pressure the whole time, and he can neutralize really good lobs by just casually going to that Western forehand and flicking it, and it can be a very frustrating feeling as a baseline team, but it's an amazing shot.
So he hits it with a Western grip.
He hits it a very severe grip.
What's his contact point on that overhead?
It's like shoulder height to maybe a little lower. He hits it higher than I think most people do, where you see like Mick normally likes to let that ball drop, and that makes it a little easier to keep that plane. Oh, nice cutter here. Oh, that's a smart play by Alvi, where he hits the cutter and knows he's going to pick off the next one, and challenging Alvi on a blitz is a tough proposition.
Again, Regalado Salazar encouraging the faster play out of Benkaim and Friedrich.
That's Regalado serving. He's on the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's Jose to the left on the top side. That's Russell Benkaim just lobbing that ball out of the ad court, and Gabe Friedrich is in the deuce court, just waiting for a look on his forehand.
It was funny, too, when I was just peeking over on changeovers. I saw Alvi hit, like, what I could only describe as, like, a Vibora. But there it is. Wow.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. The opposite of a commentator's curse right there. He's doing the Padel leaping scissor kick Vibora, which is, I don't know, it's fun to see people trying new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the scissor kick went out of our game decades ago. He's bringing it back.
Oh, wow. Couple scissor kicks into a cutter, into a net take, into a nick winner. That is some high-level paddle there. Great stuff.
I love the variety and the energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can see they've kind of settled, and they found kind of a rhythm and a flow where they don't feel like they're pressing, but they're still taking their look, so they seem very engaged, which if I had to guess, I only watched a little a second, they probably lost a little bit of focus and engagement, and that can happen when you have a rolling of a first set.
Yeah.
You kind of let your foot off the gas, and all of a sudden Russell and Gabe are playing loose, and you're like, wait a second, why am I in a third set? But now it looks like they've settled down, and they've kind of settled on the looks they want, and yeah, I mean, as you guys are well aware, when they start playing like this, they are a tough team to beat.
So, Graham, you win nationals. Did you go to Disney World?
Not yet. I'm not writing it off, but maybe once we have kiddos and have an excuse and have some more money after not pouring it all into a house, maybe then I can't afford Disney World, Patty.
And all joking aside, you win nationals.
Yeah.
You've played this game for about a decade.
More. 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Originally out of Atlanta.
That's right. Shout out Peachtree Paddle and Peter
Peachtree
Lauer.
Powder, Peter Lauer, exactly.
Yep.
So when you think about your game and adding to your game, here you are, national champion. I have a feeling you always you're a tinkerer.
Yeah.
And you study stuff and you look at your decision making.
Yeah.
Like I know how your brain works because I've just been around you long enough to watch those wheels turning constantly. Like, what do you think about for your game now?
Yeah. So it's actually great that you asked that because I'm about to give a shout out to the platform tennis subreddit for those people who out there who know.
I hear you're big.
I love the platform tennis subreddit. So just like a week or so ago, I don't think it was Damien who's also there, APTA president. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shout out to Nipster on the subreddit. But someone did ask, hey, what are your goals for this weekend, for this year? And it wasn't for me. It was just for your everyday player on there and everyone. I actually really enjoyed reading it. It was, hey, I'm a Series 8 player in Chicago, or I'm a 27 PTI in Rochester, and this is what I'm working on. So I actually went back. I was a little late and wrote a long post, but for me it comes down, and I'm lucky enough where I've been building for 15 years my game. But for instance, last year my #1 focus was I really wanted to get a Sven Buris ad serve. I wanted to get an ad serve that could help neutralize Stephen Mitchell and Mark Powers. So that's at this point I'm lucky enough where I can focus on not even just my favorite specific shots, but specific opponents I need to do it against. So I set out in league matches. I told my partner in practice, I'm like, hey guys, I'm standing wide and I'm bombing. Sorry if there's a few faults coming your way, like I'll work through it. but it got to the point where in the semis and nationals and then in the finals against Mark, I was just able to put him under a little bit more pressure. So it's always little micro things like that that I can just hopefully move the needle a few percentage points, and hey, that can make all the difference.
And I think people, when they think about you, they wouldn't think about, I mean, you're a tall guy.
Yeah.
I've always looked up to you.
Literally.
A few feet. But the thing is, like, your serve is not something we really think about a lot. But
right.
your serving in nationals was phenomenal.
Thank you.
And to negate a Mark Powers,
Yeah.
I mean, Guy Nunes, you did it with your serve.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it took a lot of work. I told my league partner, I'm like, hey, you know, sorry if I miss a few, but I got a goal in mind, and I need to put in some work here. So when I'm serving 5-4 in the third set of nationals, 30-15, I have trust in it. So then it ended up working out just like that.
So do you give advice in your online stuff?
I do. If you throw some questions in there, or some people, you know, they'll at me. I'm fully doxxed. My name is my name, so I'm there. You know who I am. I do my best to kind of monitor it here and there and respond. In there, for instance, there's I wrote, like, I think I called it a treatise on overhead. Someone asked me, Graham, how do you spin an overhead? And I went into all the details of the U-line spin versus the Johann spin, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of little good nuggets in there I can bump
Well,
for
and
us.
for club level players, I mean, this tournament, we have 8 different tournaments. We have tournaments within a tournament.
Yep.
We have minus 20 PTIs to 80 PTIs.
Yep.
And I think it's really good for club players to hear about the work that a top player puts into their game.
Yep.
Because there's little situations that you remember from the year before. You know, you had a serve and you had Powers and he's looking up and you just couldn't serve around him to avoid his amazing return to serve, that forehand drive. And so that was something you focused in. And I think on the club level, they've got to think about the depth on their serve and being able to move it around a little bit, because the struggles that keep them at a certain level, they really can't advance unless they work on it and have a willingness to screw up in a match, I think.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good example, too, because I think too often what club players do, or even the high-level players, tournament players, they focus on developing more shots, more options, et cetera, where my serve was never necessarily an amazing shot, but it was, I would say, like a strength in a sense, that ad serve. And it would have been very easy for me to kind of settle in and accept it. But that was me taking a strength and just taking it a few degrees higher, something small and attainable, not trying to develop a two-handed backhand, 15 years in, or some crazy new shot. It was just trying to build on what I'm good at and minimize what I'm bad at. So I think there is a little bit there I hope people can take away from it.
Graham, you've been gracious to sit down with us, and this has been fun to talk to you. And good luck tomorrow in the finals, 11 o'clock men's finals.
That's right.
Irdoya McNerney against the winner of this match. Thanks, Graham, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks,
Pat.
Graham. Here we are, Patty. We got Salazar and Regalado. Salazar serving for the match. Little fault there, but there have been very few errors in this set from Regalado Salazar. It was nice to hear Graham in person talk about his game, and one of the most disciplined players on the court. And with all this talent out there, it really, so much of these 50-50 matches comes down to discipline.
Yeah, that mental thing that guy Graham has going on, pretty phenomenal. I mean, he maintains, we talk about maintaining a level of play, and that's a mental energy as well as what you can do physically and the discipline. But you've got to have that mental fortitude to just not rush it, wait for it, take what comes your way, press when you need to a little bit, or force it a little bit when you need to, but just play one shot at a time. Love the hand. See, it's hard for me. I love watching Regalado out of that ad court because I just love what he does with his hands.
So much variety in positioning. A little bit of a loose game from Regalado Salazar there. Let's see if we can get something going if we're Benkaim and Friedrich.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I love that Salazar and Regalado are experimenting with this, and who knows if they stick with it, but, when you have those matches under pressure, high-level matches, it only adds to your repertoire. And you know, this game comes down to matchups, and maybe having Jose in the ad court helps them against a certain opponent, where maybe it helps them more to have him in the deuce court against another opponent. I'm not sure yet. It's early in the season. We'll find out together.
Maybe similar to what Graham was saying about his serve, right? Both Regalado and Salazar are strong players. They're an amazing team. Let's see if we can make our team just that much stronger by switching sides. Even if it's not a permanent change, can we do it in real time against good opponents and get ourselves to feel confident with something different?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the point, just feeling confident with another formation, because the more you have, the more you can throw at your opponents on demand. And that both of you believe in it as well. You know, sometimes I'll say to people, well, you got killed in the first set, maybe, did you think about switching sides? And they're like, oh, we were a little nervous about switching sides. I'm like, you lost the first set 6-1. Well, it can't get much worse unless you lost 6-0. So why not try something else? But a lot of players at the club level, you know, feel so much more confidence on one side of the court than the other side of the court. That's why it's really important. You know, Graham, national champ, tinkers with his game all the time. Everybody should do the same.
Yep.
Play both sides, play practice matches, go a set in the wrong side of the court, the wrong side, the side you're not likely to play. Because there's so many times, Billy, that there's key points. You see a lob over someone's head, they run back, and they have no idea how to play a screen out of the other side because they don't play the ad court. Things like that.
Don't limit yourself. 30 all. Oh my goodness, what hands from Regalado.
Billy, I think it's perfect. You start the Montclair Open live streaming, first match of the day. Here you are, the last match of the day. Good way to get your feet wet in the live streaming booth.
That's right. I appreciate the opportunity to do it and got to put my time in today, which is great. It's been really fun.
Good. How about the food trucks? Montclair, I mean, like I said, Patty Toppling, there's no detail. There's no stone left unturned. They pull out all the stops here. I went out. They've got four bars set up in the parking lot nearby, in between here and the swimming complex, between the pickleball courts. It's all out there. It's just a great facility.
They have the food trucks, and then they have a live stream truck. They have a truck where the side of it is
the match.
A live stream TV.
I went out and there was a pool match on, literally shooting pool. Somehow the channel got flipped.
Yeah, in between matches. That's right. Great volley from Russell Benkaim.
Really good volley. So
I like it. Still fighting.
Regalado and Salazar lead the third set, 5 games to 2.
Regalado was broken a couple times in that second set. If you're Benkaim and Friedrich, see if we can chip away at this lead. See if we can make him sweat. If you're Regalado and Salazar, you want to play your best paddle in this game.
Yep.
And get off this court.
I kind of want to see him, I want to see Gabe unload on this return, which he will. I think they can, apply some pressure to Alvey on that serve.
We've seen a heavy dose of roller overheads from Salazar this set.
Well, you rarely see them hit the ball flat, right? They'll just lay off the ball altogether, let that ball drop, and just kind of hit that little volley. It was an overhead, but they let it drop lower, so it becomes just a high forehand volley. They live on those two overheads. Wow.
Good solid drive by Friedrich.
Does Jose have a fever?
I think it's got to put his hat back on.
Yeah. A rare volley miss.
Maybe Salazar got a little superstitious after the second set. Didn't like the hat. Made the change, gave him some energy, some fresh air.
Well, he saw Russell take his hat off, so he had to even it up.
Great roller to the neck.
Wow.
by Salazar. And even though he's not hitting the nick on the majority of those rollers, it just keeps putting the pressure on you. As McNerney said when he joined us, you constantly feel under pressure when receiving rollers.
2 match points for Regalado Salazar here in the third set. Up 5-2.
Might be a rematch of last year's final. Would love to have picked Graham's brain about that.
Yeah, we missed that opportunity.
Sorry, I don't think he would have revealed it pre-match. But I'm sure he's going home and watching Salazar in the ad court.
Oh, yeah, he's going to study. Again, gets the nick again. Great cover that time by Friedrich. Yeah, see, that's the combination from Gabe out of that deuce court, and that's where Alvey and, they fed him that forehand right there.
Right, the not traditional paddle choice of who takes that overhead opened up a lane.
No ad point, still match point. Regalado Salazar only need 1 for the win.
I know that overhead just brought Benkaim and Friedrich to the net, but that was what was lacking in the second set from Salazar and Regalado. Whether or not that's effective, it's still elevating the tempo of the points and
speeding it up.
Transition. Right, and that can make you make bad choices later in the point because your energy level's up. You feel a little rushed and frenetic.
It's a good point.
Good job by Friedrich and Benkaim slowing it back down.
Another nick.
Another nick. Great fighting by Russell Benkaim.
How many nicks in this point alone, Billy?
5. All retrieved. Love the willingness to drive at the right moment by Friedrich and the right spot. Down the middle, make them volley. It's a big moment for you. Good confidence.
Russell was not letting that ball hit a 6th nick in this point.
It's going to happen for the match. Calling it. Wow, there's the game because of the 1-point deuce. Benkaim and Friedrich, 3-5.
Wow.
That's a good point from both sides. Both sides having moments where they took control. I like this again, making them wait just a little bit longer.
All right, Benkaim serving. Down 3-5, third set. It's Alvey Regalado. Hit that return out of the deuce court on the far side. And that's Jose Salazar, top right of our screen. And that's Gabe Friedrich. The human forehand in that deuce court. What a phenomenal shot from Benkaim. Just let that ball come around. Waited on it. Of course, it was handled beautifully by Regalado.
Another thought with Salazar and Regalado returning from different sides. It could be possible that, nice shot. It could be possible that, they're experimenting with something that Durant and Mitchell made popular, where Johan would return from the deuce court, And then later in the point, right now you're not seeing them switch, but it could be an option for them if they feel like Regalado might have a better deuce court return in the long run. Way to go, getting a quick point by Russell Benkaim on that serve. Get back to 15 all. Great, consistent drive.
And why do you give them that? Like, Gabe's forehand is what's hurting them from the baseline. But that's where Jose and Alvey, they kind of just feed that. It seems like they do it on purpose.
There's that little, just in and out with the energy a bit tonight from Regalado Salazar.
I think Salazar's getting his hat back. No, smart move. Just take a little time, towel off. He just gave himself a little timeout. And kudos to Gabe and Russell. They've turned this third set around. When Graham was here, I thought we were going to be heading home.
Got to push that dinner reservation.
That's right. Well, that's why it's great to have the food trucks here at Montclair. Everybody can come over. We had a little early snack before we went on the air. Just incredible defense. You see these overheads, and they make playing the screens look so easy, and then they miss. Oh, Russell would love that shot back.
Frustrating game sometimes.
But I love watching Russell, his footwork, and just, these balls are flying into that out-of-court corner. He's gotten a million today, and his defense out of that corner, phenomenal. All of these guys, you see the explosive offensive shots. You don't really think about the defensive nature to this game all the time, but because these guys make the difficult look so easy because they're so talented. But it's, you got to play D. You got to know when you see that ball coming your way, get low, let that ball go by, use the screens, let the ball slow down. A lot of club level players will, they can't resist the urge to go block that shot because they think it's going to be a harder shot off the screen, where all these guys know it's not going to be a harder shot off the screen. It will be a slower ball typically.
Let's see if Salazar can serve it out. They were a 5-0 in this set.
Monster turnaround for Gabe and Russell. Yeah, I almost thought it was going to be 2 6-0 sets for them in the early going in this this set. But the moment Graham McNerney came inside, everything changed for Benkaim and Friedrich for the better.
Good start to this game from Salazar Regalado. Nice roller to the neck. Good serve.
And I think in these early season matches, there's nothing that matches the intensity of playing in a tour event. And, both teams, you can see a little bit up and down play, which as the season goes on, you don't see that as much. It was interesting. Gabe and Russell didn't really move up, take the net initially, but you could hear Jose communicating with Alvey, telling him where his opponents were. Oh my God!
Unbelievable.
Alvey time.
Friedrich.
Yeah, that was a great get. But I love the hands play and the nerve that Alvey has. So much confidence in his touch. All right, a couple of match points again for Regalado Salazar. Great rip from Gabe. Just followed that ball, stayed with it, pounded that ball through the middle. That's the one vulnerability with Salazar, Regalado. They kind of reach in front of each other sometimes, but maybe only hurts them a few times in a match, but that time Gabe got the better of them. Right on the line.
No close there from Benkaim and Friedrich. Oh, great gets, great patience.
Yep, and right there, that's where you could look at the positioning and say, what were they thinking? You know, I think Jose was going to let that ball go through, and I think Alvi at the last second saw Jose bailing and stuck his paddle in there. Didn't quite work out that time. I think he would have been well served just to let that ball go through.
Two more match points.
That's right. Seems like everybody's a big fan of the no-ad scoring, Billy. Cut down the length of these matches a little bit. It definitely has played a role today, and things have moved along in the tournament nicely. And there you have it. Regalado, Salazar, when it mattered the most, they got it. 6-0, 3-6, 6-4 win over Benkaim, Friedrich. I think really a good showing for Benkaim and Friedrich. I hope to see more of them in the future. They held their own and did a great job in this match. Really battling through in that third set where it would have been easy to pack it in, but they dug in deep, Billy.
Great fight by them in both the second and the third set, being down and fighting for it and working together. I hope we see more of them.
You got it. So that's going to be a wrap here from the men's semifinals at the Montclair Open. Join us tomorrow morning at 9:30 for the women's final, and that will be, and then the men's finals will start at 11 a.m. So because we have two streaming companies, we have the opportunity to start matches on time. And if you're in the neighborhood, come over to Montclair. It's a welcoming place. They've got bars everywhere. It's great fun. They're amazingly warm and welcome to anybody in the paddle community who wants to come check it out. Otherwise, tune into the live stream. I'm Patty Hogan signing off with Billy Horn. Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, Patty. Have a good night.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.